The following tutorial is brought to you by WholeLoops.com.
It's production time. I'm Reid Stefan, Realest puppet in the game. Today, I'm trying to know if you could tell the difference between plugins and the real analog hardware. In this test, I'm going to be shooting out a Neve 1073 against the UAD 1073 plugin, and to spice it up a bit, we're even going to be testing the Tube-Tech CL1B against the UAD plugin. So let's first start out by recording in Kara through both microphones at the same time. My day one, my day one, my day one, yeah, yeah.
Used to grind on the late nights, staying up just to get my dreams right. Do it all for the highlights. No one else, you and me, it's for life. Looking back, came a long, long way up. You were there by my side as I came up. Take it back to the old me. You were there, never lonely, lonely. My day one, my day.
All right, now that take sounded really good. So like I said, here at the top, we have Kara singing through the Sony C800G and Kara singing the same take through the Slate MO1. I'm just going to change the colors just a little bit so it's easier to tell them apart. So now the first thing I want to do is load up the plugins that are going to make the Slate ML1 sound like the Sony C800G. So that's the virtual MixRack. Now the next thing I want to do is load up the 1073 plugin. UAD Neve 1073. And we'll just start building the chain right here on the Sony channel. The next thing I want to add in is the external audio effect. So I'm going to drop that right here. And now I'm just going to select the Neve here. And then I have that going up into the Tube-Tech CL1B, which you could see right here. But I'm just going to grab this bypass switch and make sure that this is down because we do not want this affecting our signal yet. When we listen to our Sony C800G, we should be able to hear it going through the Neve preamp.
Used to grind on the late nights, staying up just to get my dreams right. Used to grind on the late nights, staying up just to get my dreams right. Used to grind on the late nights, staying up just to get my dreams right. Used to grind on the late nights, staying up just to get my dreams right.
And that's really similar. I'm quite impressed considering the price difference between a real Neve and the UAD plugin, but let's amp up this test a little bit, crank it up to 10, and let's crank the Neve plugin up to 10, and let's see how these things perform together at a slightly higher gain setting. I might even have to back off the output a little bit, and back off the output a little bit here on the plugin too, but let's jump into another blind test and see if we could tell the difference.
Used to grind on the late nights, staying up just to get my dreams right. Do it all for the highlights. No one else, you and me, it's for life. Used to grind on the late nights, staying up just to get my dreams right. Do it all for the highlights. No one else, you and me, it's for life. Used to grind on the late nights, staying up just to get my dreams right. Do it all for the highlights. No one else, you and me, it's for life.
They're still sounding really similar. So I think I want to take the test up a notch and enable the EQ, and let's try and do a low cut at 80 and see if we can hear a difference. So I'm going to grab this low cut, enable the EQ button. I almost forgot that. Let's see if we could hear a difference with the EQ and the preamp enabled.
Used to grind on the late nights, staying up just to get my dreams right. Do it all for the highlights. No one else, you and me, it's for life. Used to grind on the late nights, staying up just to get my dreams right. Do it all for the highlights. No one else, you and me, it's for life.
Let's try bumping the EQ up one more notch, but I could really tell the difference now that we got the EQ going. But let's also check a different part of the vocal too, because we've been listening to that spot a lot.
Looking back, came a long, long way up. You were there by my side as I came up. Take it back to the old me. You were there, never lonely, lonely. Looking back, came a long, long way up. You were there by my side as I came up. Take it back to the old me. You were there, never lonely, lonely.
I could definitely hear the hardware EQ cutting out a lot more low end, and this overall brightness started happening as soon as we engaged the low cut. That didn't really start happening on the plugin, but again, they're still very, very close.
Do your vocals sound like they got no sauce? Are you tired of listening to harsh and overcooked vocal mixes? Introducing UAD Vocal Sauce, the warmest and most powerful sauce you'll ever drop on your vocals. UAD Vocal Sauce is available now only at wholeloops.com.
I think I want to kick this test up one more notch by enabling the Tube-Tech CL1B plugin. And we'll just turn on our TubeTech compressor now, so when we turn on Audio Effect Rack, it's running through both. Let's take one more listen and see if we could hear a difference in a blind test between the hardware vocal chain and the UAD plugin vocal chain.
Do it all for the highlights. No one else, you and me, it's for life. Looking back, came a long, long way up. You were there by my side as I came up. Take it back to the old me. You were there, never lonely, lonely. Used to grind on the late nights, staying up just to get my dreams right. Do it all for the highlights. No one else, you and me, it's for life.
Now, they really do not sound the same at the higher compression settings. The plugin starts to do this real noticeable pumping thing, whereas the hardware really keeps its cool and handles the loud peaks much, much nicer. Another thing I want to do is try increasing maybe the input gain going into the plugin and turning down the threshold. So maybe I'll try turning this up a little bit, as well as turning this up a little bit, and see if that makes a difference.
Used to grind on the late nights, staying up just to get my dreams right. Do it all for the highlights. No one else, you and me, it's for life. Looking back, came a long, long way up. You were there by my side as I came up. Take it back to the old me. You were there, never lonely, lonely. Used to grind on the late nights, staying up just to get my dreams right. Do it all for the highlights. No one else, you and me, it's for life. Looking back, came a long, long way up. You were there by my side as I came up. Take it back to the old me. You were there, never lonely, lonely.
Now, the first glaring difference that I noticed between the plugin vocal chain and the hardware vocal chain is the control that it had over the dynamics. The Tube-Tech CL1 plugin really seemed to lose its cool once it got hit with some high volumes at some high thresholds, whereas the hardware Tube-Tech CL1B seemed to really be able to handle any volume that I threw at it. And now for the final shootout test, I want to completely EQ up this vocal with the knobs here on the Neve, and then go and dial in some similar settings here on the UAD plugin, so we could do a complete shootout between what an all plugin vocal chain sounds like versus an all hardware vocal chain. So first, let's sauce up this voice with the EQ settings on here, and then we'll dial in the same settings on the plugin. So let's go. My day one, yeah, yeah.
Used to grind on the late nights, staying up just to get my dreams right. Do it all for the highlights. No one else, you and me, it's for life. Looking back, came a long, long way up. You were there by my side as I came up. Take it back to the old me. You were there, never lonely, lonely. Used to grind on the late nights, staying up just to get my dreams right. Do it all for the highlights. No one else, you and me, it's for life. Looking back, came a long, long way up. You were there by my side as I came up. Take it back to the old me. You were there, never lonely, lonely. Used to grind on the late nights, staying up just to get my dreams right. Do it all for the highlights. No one else, you and me, it's for life. Looking back, came a long, long way up. You were there by my side as I came up. Take it back to the old me. You were there, never lonely, lonely. Used to grind on the late nights, staying up just to get my dreams
There's
right.
plugins.
Do it all for the highlights. No one else, you and me, it's for life. Looking back, came a long, long way up. You were there by my
Back to the
side
mic.
as I came up. Take it back to the old me. You were there, never lonely, lonely. Used to grind on the late nights, staying up just to get my dreams right. Do it all for the highlights. No one else, you and me, it's for life. Looking back, came a long, long way up. You were there by my side as I came up. Take it back to the old me. You were there, never lonely, lonely. Used to grind on the late nights, staying up just to get my dreams right. Do it all for the highlights. No one else, you and me, it's for life.
Wow. So I gotta say, the difference was drastic by the time we got both EQs enabled and we tried to dial in the same settings. In fact, it was really hard to get the settings to sound the same at all, which goes to show that the plugins and the hardware really are two absolute different beasts, even though they claim to do the same thing. But I'm really curious about what you heard. Would you rather get yourself a full hardware setup, or just get the plugins and take the money that you'd save and spend it on the rest of your setup? So leave it in a comment if you could hear the difference between the hardware and the plugin, and I'll catch you guys next time with another video. Peace out.